Hey guys, today on Billy's Tech Tips, I'm going to do a case I got off Craigslist. I will show you in a minute. It is a Antec P180B. It's a discontinued Performance 1 series, but it's a decent case and it's got a lot of room and stuff, so I'm going to explain the specs in a little bit. But I do have a Inwin case I will show you soon. I already just hammered down lower seat cases, but I'm going to compare the specs. And then the case that I'm currently using for one of my extra computers is a mid-tower ATX micro ATX case. So it can't fit some of the bigger motherboards per se on some of the newer computers. It's kind of an older tower. Then I have the Antec P180B case that can fit a mid to higher motherboards. So it's got 7 expansion slots and this one's a little lower. So let's get to it. First off, let me readjust here. And you should see that this is the Inwin case. It is, the specs on it are, its external drive bays are 4 times 5.25 inch bays and 1 times a 3.5 inch bay. So basically it has external drives that can handle up to 4 of those, and 1 times 3.5 inch bay. That could be like your floppy disk drive or something, or like the old school drives for memory cards. I can't remember what they call them, but you don't make them anymore. And in the internal hard drive bays, there's 5 times 3.5 inch bays. So basically your standard size hard drive, not your laptop hard drive, is your normal one. And on that note, the front I/O ports, it has a 1 eSATA, a 2 USB 2.0s, an HD/AC/97 audio. Now your question is on the eSATA. There's different types of eSATA out there per se on them. And that was the candle I just dropped. Interesting, guys. Anyway, the port's a little bit different. Some from your SATA cable that you can see nowadays. This is a little bit older eSATA. Like my laptop here has an older eSATA, which I don't use anyways. Kind of use external hard drives. What your external hard drive ports are. And it has your USB, your your front mic, and your audio out. And then of course that's MS in the covers. The good thing about this case is the covers are detachable by little clips, just like so, and it makes it easy just to take off. So that's that case. That case is simple, basically a simple, made easy use tower, gets you on the go. So we're going to set this one to the side, and then we're going to tell you about the other one. And to finish this up, the dimensions are 414 millimeters by 180 millimeters by 498. So that's basically the width, the height, and the length. And then the included fans are 220 millimeter side panel and a 90 millimeter rear fan. The big fan I actually have sitting over there. And the side panel fan, I think I might have it still. I don't know. But if you're more interested, I'll put the links in the description below if you're just trying to find a simple tower. If not, I'm also put a link in the description for the big tower I'm about to show you. So let's get to it. Alright. Yeah. This is the Antec P180B. Alright, now this has a lot more features and capabilities than most towers you would see every day. It has a unique upper and lower chamber structure. The power supply resides in a separate chamber to isolate heat from the system and lower system noise. Yeah, system noise can be a big issue, especially when you're trying to do a video recording and stuff for me, because all you hear in the background is a computer I have running for an NAS server. I hear the fans noise, so it's like really, I have to do like audio editing to get that out sometimes. But your hard drive would go, not your hard drive, your power PSU, or known as your power supply, will go here, and it bolts into this bracket right here. It's a bracket that has 1 bolt hole on each side that just sit just like so. And there you go. You mount your power supply, which is a very different design than what I'm used to. Most of the time they have the 4 holes in the back that you can put it into. I guess that's more a way to secure it. Maybe it's a different way of mounting it, but I'm not sure if we're going to have to use it. But more in this video, and as we do it, I'll show you more. Or if it's part 2, I'm not sure yet. So we go from there. The innovative 3-layer side panels and front door. Aluminum, plastic, aluminum, dampen system noise make this one the quietest cases available. So this is one of those kind of cases that It's good for like video recording or audio recording when you do like streaming and stuff. That way people don't hear the background noise of a computer tower. Like, I'm not sure if you can hear it now, but you probably hear my gaming computer running because it's got a lot of fans. Even though it's a gaming tower, it's an Antec, and it's one of the gaming series cases, one of the very top ones on the webpage. I'll put that link in the description below for you too, so check that out. And it's supposed to be quiet, so, and not bad for aluminum and plastic case. It's still got some weight to it, but it's not as bad. It does come with 2 fans, one here and one here, that came with the tower, and then I guess some power adapters. I got this off Craigslist, mind you. Some of the stuff mine not gonna look the same out of the box, but it's free, can't argue. Okay, the cooling system has one rear standard 120mm tri-cool fan with 3-speed control switch, and a top standard fan with a tri-cool fan, and a one lower chamber standard 120mm tri-cool fan, one front optional and one middle optional, both 120mm, 2 cool graphics cards. Okay, now you're asking, why would you want a middle fan to cool your graphics cards? Because, for example, my wife's graphics card just got fried and it probably overheated because it was too hot. I had my cards fried because they overheated, got too hot. It just quit working. And if that ever happens, make sure your card's within a 3-year warranty. You can send it back to the manufacturer. Just contact NVIDIA and they'll tell you where to go from there. If you know how to do it yourself, do an RMA and they'll take care of you. Okay, so back to the fan. So one here, one here. It has the options here, an option here. Now the one for the graphics cards is very unique because my case doesn't even have that, and I have a bigger, more expensive case than this one, which is the Antec. I'm going to put in the description. It's a red and green color tower. It's the top-notch gaming series case, and let's look that up actually. And I don't even have that, so I'm kind of jealous that that has that feature and mine doesn't. But this case is older than mine. So let's go to gaming series. We have, me and my wife have the 1900 red, 1900 green. She has the red. No, I have the red. She has the green. Yeah, that's it. And it doesn't include that kind of fan. Like, I wish it had that casing option in there. So that's pretty cool. It has a graphics card fan. I still don't know where we'll mount it, but as we build, we'll figure it out. Like, I'm really going to use it for gaming, but I have a gaming graphics card in it. So the upper drive cage can be used as a duct to provide fresh air to graphics cards. Okay, so the upper drive cage would be here. That's where I might end up sticking hard drives. I'm not sure because I only have one drive bay. Thank God I don't have like 10 million hard drives sticking in here. But anyways, that's where this would go to help pull air in. So that's a good thing. I mean, it has the option like to undo a little filter fan right here in front of the case, as I will show you here. Which little space we got. As you can see, it has a door like I told you earlier for ventilation, and it has a option here, an option here, a door here that you're able to unhook and, you know, clean up the little filters, as you can tell, which are pretty, for being the use case, it's not really dirty, which is amazing. That's where you put your fans at. Okay, so your external fan control. Okay, on the rear of this case has a little box. You probably won't see it very well. Yeah, you won't be able to see it because the camera can't pick it up. Now it can, but that little thing here is a fan switch. You can turn left to right high. My tower has that feature, but it has like 4 fans connected to it, which I have like tons of fans of mine, and why it's noisy. Could be why it's noisy, but it basically controls your fan speeds. Well, I can't get it right here. And basically, it's a pretty nice little option. You could probably hook up, you know, little fans, and it probably has like a power wire that has to run to it. And I think I'm correct. I don't see one required for it though, which is very peculiar. Maybe it's these things. Yeah, it's these things here. See, mine had a different option where a power plug runs into it, and then that powers all the fans. So it's a little older style, as you can tell. Maximum expandability with 11 drive bays. Externals 4 times 5.25 inches. 1 times 3.5 inches, 6 times 3.5 for HDDs, or SDDs as you would say. Maybe SDDs, you might have to get an adapter for those, but it's not the case. So they can hold up to 6 HD hard drives. It can, for externals, it could probably do about 4, and then 1 times 3.5 would be like your floppy disk drive, or one of those old school like storage compact card things. I don't even know the name for it, but they're outdated, so don't worry about it. It's something you probably need to worry about. Compatible motherboards is a mini ITX, micro ATX, and a standard ATX. Now the Griffin can't do that. It can only do an ATX and a micro ATX. Can't do an ITX motherboard. That's why this is a little older tower, but it can fit some of the newer motherboards almost. They were going to find out. And double hinge door support, like I said, open up to a 270-degree angle, which as you've seen before. I opened it up and it opens all the way to the side of the tower. So it's almost a complete 360, which is a very good feature because you don't have to breaking your door off. You can leave it open to the side and just keep it there and tape it. That way you ain't got to worry about it. Rubber grommet ports near the back for liquid cooling. It has these little holes back here for like water pipes to mount your water cooling system or your deal for your jug, or like, and I call it an antifreeze jug, but basically where you keep your water to keep it full so it doesn't run out. So that comes built in. That so you don't drill the holes or pre-drill or do any of that. It has 7 expansion slots. So that's all these little slots for your graphics cards. Remember, mind your graphics card take 2 slots. So make sure when you do something like this, you know how much you're going to have in components when you're buying a case. That way you do not make a mistake of not getting enough room and have to go buy another one. Or edit your case. And per se, I did that one time. Also, on that note, make sure your graphics cards ain't like too long and extend over here, because then yeah, you will not get it in there. That's another thing about some of these older cases. Let's see. Front ports, it has 2 times USB 2.0, so it doesn't have the 3.0 USB, which is the blue USB ports, not the black ones, but they're the same. They work at the 2.0 speeds. Just depends on the kind of device you're working, the compatibility for that speed. So that goes part. And an IEE 1394 FireWire. Now FireWire, I'm not sure if it's still used. Some of the older technology, like my video camera has that and some stuff, but I never use FireWire. It's an older, outdated. Say it's outdated technology, but I've never really got roughly with it. But I mean, if you want to update me on it, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll read about it. Cable organizers behind the motherboard. Okay, that is a big thing about computers. So you have all this stuff in it, but then your cables are a mess. So some towers don't have an organization system per se, and I'm going to see what it looks like, because that's a good feature to have, a cable organization system. And you know, yeah, cable organization is a big key in computers, because 1, it's easy to work on, 2, when you're trying to pull stuff out, you'll have a lot. Okay, now as you can see, that goes inside, but here it has these little clamps you can just wrap your wires in and they stay shut. So that's a very good organization system, and this tower is in pretty well shape. It looks like it's had some rough experiences, but it does the job. I might need to run that ground wire. See, this is the first tower I've seen that has a ground wire in it, which is real interesting. But that's another story on that one. Basically it has your, like I said, it has your HD audio, your USB, and your 1394 FireWire connection. And it has all these little deals here, and this is also back access to help access all your stuff. Because a lot of times that's a big handy thing. Okay, it has an 0.0 cold roll still for durability through a majority chassis. At 1.0 cold roll still around the 4 times AD air. So thicker still on that hard drive air to more better support instead of thinner still, so you know they can not get tore up or damaged from bending or any of that. And my dog has to come say hi. To optimize performance of your P180, the choice power supply is crucial. Antec strongly recommends choosing our signature or True Power series. Okay, now that is your discretion. Power supplies are your discretion, my brand. If you had bad history with them, go somewhere else. If not, Antec is very good. I've never had an Antec power supply, but I've never heard anything bad about them. So I'm not saying nothing bad, I'm not saying nothing good. More neutral. But if you like, you know, we'll leave your experience about it in the comments below. Hey, I'd be happy to read about it and talk about it. Alright, silicon. Okay, yeah, silicon garments in your hard drive cage to door vibrations and reduce noise. That is a major factor in any computer or laptop or anything. For example, I set my laptop down on the floor and it's like, reboot it. There's no shock absorber. This here has shock absorbers, and it's these rubber little white things here that if you drop it, tap it too hard, hard drive won't kick off and rewrite or crash and your computer reboot. So that's a very important thing, because it's like a CD. It can scratch up the disk and mess it up, and your hard drive will go bad. It has a built-in washable filter. Yes, that is those filters I showed you up front when I pulled the little doors open from the inside part of it, and the filters pop out. You can wash them out for your fans. If those get clogged, they will not suck air. It's just like air filter for your AC system. The unit dimensions are 21 by 3 inches height times 8.1 inches width and times 19.9 inches in diameter. It's not a bad case. It's a pretty good case for what it can do. Package contains, oh well, package dimensions. So that's the box it comes in, which I don't have that. And the weight. Okay, so the weight without nothing in it net is only 31 pounds, which is not bad. Gross is about 36, so that's probably with all the components inside. The more you have, the more heavier it is. But it is discontinued, so if you do see it for sale, it's probably been used, and that's the reason why I got it used. So I've just found our case. I figure I'm going to switch something over. I'm going to do a video about it. So okay, all about the technical specs. So it's like, damn, dude, get to the fucking build. We're going to get there. So let's get started on the build. Okay, so I'm going to shut my computer down because I have no room for that up here. Alright. And of course, my dog has to be walking around. He's completely lost, and my wife's playing games in the background, so don't worry about that. She's having a gale time over there. She's running off a 660 Ti graphics card, so it kind of sucks. But she's able to run Assassin's Creed, even not overclocking, but over the VRAM, which is really amazing because it's right the card yet. So, so let's take this tower off of the desk table, or I'm going to call it top table. Okay, guys, so this is the Inwin tower. Alright, so we're going to start tearing it apart. And if you don't want to watch this, you can fast forward the video to every time you want. It's understandable. Some people watch people tear apart computers. I do. And it just depends on your preference. You see, I kind of rigged up something here a while back for fan adapters, just some old fans. And you'll see why in a minute. I can find where I put my screwdriver. I'm so smart. I put it right here. Alright guys, so the good thing about the Inwin, though, it has this capability of undoing the bay drives from actually outside of the tire, which is better than some cases because some of them can't do that, and it's really a pain, but it's all fair game. And I'm trying to find my duck. I think my drink's in there, so I do. Yeah, well, that's one. My wife confiscated my drink. Yeah. That's alright. I'll get it back. I'll save it slowly. Okay guys, so I did forget to take this out, which is the graphics card adapters. So I run multiple adapters. This is my rendering computer. It's just the codec got messed up, and yeah, so I'm transferring it over to a better cooler computer because this thing hums like a motherfucker. It's running rendering here. That's all you hear out of it. If this thing, where did you know? Open up. Okay, so as you see, I've had fans rigged in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all these because I have better cooling fans, and there's no way to possibly side mount any of these fans in this case anyway, so I'm just going to undo them from this cover. Alrighty. And if you like what I'm doing, feel free to support me here. Just kidding. You have to support me, but it's nice to have a little help sometimes. Okay. Alright. So, we don't need this, obviously, but it's still attached here, so I can't do nothing about it. But, first off, y'all are going to make sure you unhook your power to everything. And do not touch your motherboard with a screwdriver that's magnetic or anything that can scratch it up, because you will fry your motherboard, or you'll make it where it doesn't work in the circuit pass. And then you get a useless motherboard. I have a Gigabyte 99DFX motherboard over there that I scratched the back pass where the CPU goes, and now it's useless. So there you go. It's how to waste some money in technology if you ain't careful. I mean, I probably could test it and use it, but I'm not sure exactly how it goes. And also when you're tearing apart your computer, make sure you keep track of all your screws and all that. Okay, so yes, I have an older hard drive in here. It's an old IDE. It's an adapter for SATA connections. Not many people use those anymore. I use it because I was just laying around and it was brand new and I never used it. So let's just screw it. Let's use a hard drive, and it works pretty decent. You know, it's not but for gaming, but it does what I want this thing to do, which is basically video editing. Not the finest machine, but it does the job. Now, the question we're going to have is, this is an older style power supply, and we got to see if it's even going to function, or it might bolt up. It just, I think these newer, the newer towers do have the adapter abilities to do that. So I don't know. I mean, and I know the quality of this video is probably not the best you're ever going to see. It's not HD. I don't know. So when you're in a budget for a camera to do this kind of stuff, that's all you got. My cell phone can't, it records at 4K, but it can't do the best. Okay, so see, I got my power supply, my graphics card. You know, 640 is not a bad card, by the way. So if you ever use it, it does decent. Okay, so we're gonna hook the motherboard, all the pins, and on top of that, when you unhook your pins from your motherboard for your front jumpers, always look up online for your motherboard model to find the correct way to reset them correctly. Now you're going to see why in a minute, why this case can barely fit this motherboard it has now. This motherboard is almost neck to neck with the tower, quite literally. I'm surprised it can even fit without shorting out. I mean, basically it goes up to the power supply, and that's about it. And that power supply I pulled out pretty old. It came out of an old system. So, believe it or not, I'm running like, what is this? It is a 500 watt power supply. I think I bought that power supply. It sounds like yeah, I did buy this power supply because mine burnt out originally in that tower and went out. So yeah, actually that power supply is decent. It's just a smaller size. It's for the smaller towers like this. Now you're asking, what am I going to do with these towers? Believe it or not, be careful. Believe it or not, I have an Antec tower that's a little bit older. Well, they still sell it, but it's got the FireWire, and it's a good gaming camera. Well, why am I not using it? Simply because the person that had it before me didn't really take good care of their cases, and it's got so much stuff caked in it. I'm gonna have to basically bleach the cigarette smell out of it. 'Cause I don't smoke. I don't tend to smoke. But alright guys, so this is a ASUS M5A9 LE motherboard. This motherboard is an in-between gaming motherboard and functional basic computer motherboard. It is really good. It runs really well. And believe it or not, for it sitting long as it has, not really dusty as it should be. That's a good sign. Okay. So I do have a fan rigged up here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I have to look. Fan here, fan here. No, we're not going to use it. It's just going to be an extra fan. Okay, so this case is fully gutted and done. We're going to find its lid, put it back on. That's the good thing about this case. Let's say it has a brackets right here. You're able to just clip it without taking screws per se. And in this case, I have to do it. And I probably have to find a spot for this one too. But probably use this for something else. Okay guys, so we're going to get this bad boy up here. You know, guys, my feet are killing me. I've been sitting on them for a while. Ooh. That's how I did not handle my motherboard. Oh wait, you got one piece. Get base plate. Always have this plate, because if you don't, and you short out your motherboard because the back, because you connect things, short things out, your fault. You do not realize it's easy to short out a motherboard. I should know. Okay, so we are going to put this fan back up in here because it has little clips that you can slide it on. Only really 2 screws to really hold it up, but we're not going to need to do that. I'm just bringing it up. So basically, you take your back plate. Always put this in first, otherwise you're going to put everything in. Expansion cards, video cards, RAM, CPU, all that nice stuff. And then guess what? Pull it all back out because you forgot to put that in there. So, as I said before, motherboard's big. Something bigger than this tower. So, if it fits in here, which it should, and it's successful, awesome. So guys, it fits. Now some people build their towers on a table, some people build them up and down. Me, depends on what I feel like in the mood for, but today I should do it this way. Being that I'm doing off too much stuff at once. So we're going to start bolt screwing down the motherboard. Originally, who had this tower was an older person, and he had an i7 Intel system on it. And I don't know if he'd upgraded and just no longer needed it, or just got done with the computer. I mean, not many people use internet that are in the older ages. They just, you know, basic, rely on their younger family to do it. But we're going to get this motherboard installed, as so, which is kind of appropriate. Now, as you're cranking these things down, mind you, don't use nothing magnetic and don't use any type of ratchet type drivers, because bit drivers, you don't want to over crack type and crack the motherboard. Now see, we have a problem because something is not mounting right. So we gotta find out where it is. See guys, this is what I was talking about. Always inspect this or you're gonna be like me, going back in, doing it. So learn from me and do it for yourself. Now this is basically a how-to, I guess, on Switch Tower, a tower review, and also how to basically build a computer. You don't have to, you know, buy everything. You can just switch tower out, but this is basically how a computer is built. Starts with a tower, and yeah, you basically work your way up. I gotta find out why this thing is resisting going in. Most times you should bolt right up, but if you ever need to change something, it's always good to do it ahead of time. Okay, yeah, I don't know what the issue was. I just bolted it back in and just put it back in there, and now it's just fine. Sometimes it's just picky. Yeah, it's just like sometimes like a woman. Just kidding. No, it's not. I'll probably kill for saying that. They're just grouchy. They're real picky about how you put it in. Probably getting a death look right now. YouTube, if I do not make any videos in a week, you know why it happened. Just kidding, guys. And then I do college stuff too, so I might be off and on doing videos, stuff like this. So just, you know, bear with me, guys. I'm trying. We just, you know, have a full-time job, school. I'm doing my networking class right now. If you don't know about it, I still have to get my degree because they're not going to take you if you don't have it. Perfect. Now, this case, guys, we'll show you in a second. Let me make sure everything's bolted in. Okay, so we got the motherboard bolted in, and if you can tell, it sits all the way up in the inside from there all the way to here. So yeah, this tower was the same as the Inwin, and just had more spacious design for air breathing, like I was telling you. So that's why they discontinued this tower, and this tower is probably not compatible with any of the newer style boards because they're a tad bit bigger now than they used to be. So next is power supply. I bought this at Fry's Electronics, I think maybe 20-30 bucks on sale, 500 watt. I wouldn't advise this for a gaming computer. I advise this maybe just for a rendering computer if you're not running multiple graphics cards or a really heavy processor system. Now, this is the interesting part. I'm guessing this goes over this, the little bracket right here. So this goes over this. Oh yeah, it cushions it. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then you want to make sure you line your holes up here, 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 and here. So always make sure that the plug is always on top. Most of the time that's how they work. Some are backwards, some are not. And you'll learn as you go. Okay, so this case has the flexibility of different types of power supplies. It's got a little bit older design, because like I said earlier, it's an older case. But overall, it does really, really, really well. And bear with me, guys. Next paycheck, I plan to get a better camera for doing this kind of stuff. My webcam, I can't bounce it to a tripod and do all that. So I'm just trying to do with what I got. So I'm just going to put one screw here, screw this all down. And you got more screws, you just put them all in there. I'm still going to have room for all this other stuff to go in. So the power supply isn't going anywhere. So there you go. Power supply goes in nice and smooth. And then if you want to run your wires, you run your wires correctly, and you just go from there. You just basically run them. We're going to run the main ones. Make sure you don't get caught in any of the metal, because you don't want to have electrical short. I'm telling you, not worth it. Alright, so we're going to, this 24 pin connector here, 20 pin for older motherboards, 24 pin for the newer style motherboards. It has a lot of new power supplies. You either have it built in like that, or you have like a 4 pin adapter that hangs off. You always want to take that 4 pin and clip the little, those 2 little ledges on it that you slide underneath the main one. You need to clip it in, and that way that it's secure. Then you have your motherboard's 4 pin supply, which will run up through here. I think that's the only 4 pin it has. So guys, this is the one problem you don't want to deal with, is this is kind of short for what I need it for. But I'll make it work. So we're just going to skip that to the side right now. And then we're going to figure out which ones we need. Now sometimes you might need these. It's a 4 pin Molex to the new SATA connectors. So that's always a plus. Yeah, so far it's not that bad, but we're just kind of short for cable length. But that's fine. Make it stretch or make it work some magical way. And I don't have to tap into it, which I advise you not to do unless you know what the hell you're doing when it comes to electricity. Being I'm not going to be using this, I probably shouldn't hook it out of there. I'm never going to hook any more other hard drives in here like I used to. And don't need this one anymore. These power adapters are amazing. Believe it or not, most power adapters you buy nowadays are pretty easy to work with. So we are going to be being listen. Oh, they can't see. More focus down here than you. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man, my wife's trying to get by, guys, and she's a little camera shy. You know how that goes. Yeah, see? Alright, guys, see here in his hard drive bay, I have to use, let me show you. I have to use the second slot because when I got it, it's missing the first one or whatever was supposed to go here is not here. I guess it's for the bigger part, but we're not going to worry about that because I'm not running 10 million hard drives per se, but that's how you get total 6 hard drives in here. So this would go like so, because I have a hole here that screws in here. And we're going to put this just like this. Line up the holes so they'll bolt up. And if I'm correct, it actually, Antec, even though it's an older case, It's probably going to use the same screws that mine uses, so give me a sec, guys. I have to go get these screws without bumping the camera. Okay guys, so where I got my screws from, I'm sorry I had to sit down. I got my screws from an older system, a newer system I have. Like I said, the Antec Tower 1900, the one I've had, and they use the same type screws for the hard drive base. So thank God that I had these screws. I'd be totally screwed or having to figure a way to make it work. So that's a plus. That's a major plus. So the screws that you're going to use is probably going to be a long threaded one like this. Antec uses those kind of screws. And you're just going to try to line it up. You can get it on the hole. We've only got one drive. It should be really that pain in the butt, and it is. So we will try to figure that out. And you're probably laughing at me like, why is this guy doing this stuff? Building, well, I'm only doing this so y'all can see how easy it is to build a computer for people who don't know how to do it. You'd be amazed if you know how to build a computer. I've built all the computers in our house, and then they have learned off what I taught them. And when I met my wife, she didn't know much about computers, so I taught her. So, okay guys, so I have to move some of our boots very fast to this location because some are missing. But I ain't worried about it. This tower is missing some pieces, but being used and free, hey, why not? But luckily, we had our Antec stuff from our other towers, and I'm able to get these hard drives them out because I have the right screws. I don't want my hard drive improperly mounted, and it did damage while it's running and corrupt Windows. I'm telling you, hard drives are like a record. Real baby, you got a baby in a piece of glass. And that meant that you stick them in the freezer for them to recover your data. You can, but you might ruin the electronic components from the moisture and all that. So if you're really interested in that, look up videos on it. I'm telling you. Read about it. A lot of people did it, and some got lucky, some didn't. There's a way to recover your data. It's just really hard. But, I mean, you just Google the programs, you'll be amazed what you can find. Okay, so we got the hard drive set up. Make sure you put the hard drive in the correct orientation, otherwise you'll be taking it right back out just to fix it. And of course, always put your screw inside this, secure this, that way you ain't got to worry about it coming undone. Because you don't want your hard drive to slide out with your wiring while you're moving the tower around, and then you go to hook it up and it doesn't work, and you know, yeah, all the trouble. Now, this is going to be an issue, but we'll deal with that later. We don't need this pin, and I'm going to organize this a little cleaner than what I had before. So this right here, this little IDE to a SATA adapter uses an old floppy disk drive, 3.5-inch floppy disk drive power adapter, and then the SATA cable, of course, to connect to the adapter so it can register into the motherboard. Now, pray to God this will connect in here with the current state of how everything's located. If not, I'm probably going to have to relocate the hard drive to another spot in that tray. So, first off, turn around. Let's hook up the adapter first, which most okay, there's some dust. I thought I'd been a pin in the hard drive. That's not what I wanted to do. Tower ate my adapter. Okay, so we are going to insert it. You always put this in a safe and secure location, because you don't want this to get ripped out by accident, because you will be screwed if you're writing or reading data in between that happening. And I got to move it back out, so I need a sec here. I just gotta loosen it. The good thing is about the rubber thingies, I guess we call them, not that hard to relocate, because all you do is move the little spongy things over. Spongy things. That's a new term, spongy things. Go into a store, see, I got little spongy things for your hard drive. They're probably gonna look at you like you're retarded. Now I put all 4 screws in it simply as a safety precaution, and you should do that and practice that. Some people put 2, sometimes I've had to just put 2, and I've limited amount. I got tons of screws, by the way. And it boots, and then the stuff running off. Okay, so we're going to put this bad boy in here. Put this one here, and we're going to put this other one back here, and then extra one down the road if you ever add any more hard drives to this tower. I seriously doubt that I will do that, honestly. Meaning that I use it only for rendering really. Because I have everything saved on my network server, my NAS server that I built off of free BSD and all that. And it's something you should probably check out. It's easy to do. You don't have to pay $1 million for something, and oh, penny forward to the trick. Depends on how much you're trying to use out of it though. And yeah, I got where I wanted it, so now I just gotta hand tighten it. Now this is really strange how they got these hard drives located. I've never seen a tower with a hard drive that actually sits sideways instead of, you know, flat, which is really weird. Really peculiar how that works. So, in due time, we almost done, guys. I do apologize. See, you're building a computer, even a computer builder messes up. So, don't worry. If you're new to it, you're going to mess up just as we did. Okay, so we are going to put this back, like so, and put the hard drive. There we go. Now everything's accessible for the most part. What do we need? So now we're going to hook our little adapter back up, and then we're going to hook up our SATA cable. We're going to run that SATA cable up through the hole, and then we're going to run it to the very bottom port. Alright, and I'm trying to keep my wires nice and clean. I don't want them all like clingy, if you understand what I'm saying there. And then you're going to use this cable and this cable, because this is the Molex is going to power the hard drive, and this is the 3.5-inch floppy power cable to power the adapter for it to be read as still as a SATA, even though it's an IDE hard drive. Now, like I said, IDE hard drives aren't very much used anymore. They're outdated. I only got it because it was on sale. Pretty much. So, but you know, if you ever got an old drive and you just want to hook it up to a newer system, that's the way to go right there. Get an old adapter. You can get adapter has SATA, IDE, this USB now. That you don't have to hook it up internally. You can do it external. You don't need this cable. But thank God this thing had this cable along with it as an adapter. So I don't think it's going to work though for graphic cards. I'm not really going to be using it, so I'm just going to tuck it in up here for an extra SATA connections. So guys, we're trying to get this to show up. So overall, got my hard drive in, got my motherboard in, get the graphics card in. Set there, boom, done. Now, good thing, bad thing all about this is everything's internal on this one, so you have to tighten everything from the inside. So every tower has its up and downs, depends on how you just convenience or style or luxury, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we got that. Let's get this fast adapter back on here. Now these are always good to put back in your towers to cover up these holes to kind of help you keep dust, unwanted dust out, I would say. I'm just saying in because all the other ones have covers, this one doesn't, and it looks very, you know, negative to me, I guess. Looks weird, and I just want to make it look right. So I'm going to tighten this on there. Just hand tighten. Don't tighten no more till it just stops. Don't strip out the screw or hand tighten because you'll be screwed getting undone. I've dealt with that way too much. Okay, so this would typically go up to your 4-pin connector for your processor. Some require 8 pins, 6 pins. Depends on the newer motherboards require 8 pins because of the power the processor takes. Now we're going to do the front jumper pins for the front buttons to work. And I still got to fix that ground over there. But overall, total build time really wasn't that long. It would have been shorter if I didn't make a couple of uh-ohs. Oh, this has 2 HD LED lights. Okay, interesting. Well, we only need 1 HD light. That's interesting. Some towers will come with extras. So just, you know, be in the mind side of that. And let's reset. Now me, I've done jumper pins for a while. Every once in a while I get the pins mixed up, but most of the time, you know, you're not gonna fry your motherboard, they're not gonna function properly or turn on. Power button might be the reset button, or it might not, you know, it has its quirks to it. So as we're going along, power switch goes here. In some motherboards, layout for the front jumper pins are already pre-labeled. Most of them nowadays are labeled, so it's pretty easy just to hook them up. So make sure you pay attention. You put the right one on the right one. And I gotta find LE, the HDD LDE, which would be, we're gonna use the HDD 1 because I don't have multiple HDDs in here. Neither I have the connections for multiple HDDs. Some computers have them, I don't need it. And then, yeah, that's the extra HDD. So guys, overall, I got everything ready to go. If I was to get that cable that would reach and hook it up, this thing is ready to boot and on the road. I mean, you got your SATA, you got your memory, graphics cards in, doesn't require a power supply. I mean, everything is hooked up, ready to go. Except for the motherboard still. The only thing I got left to do now, guys, is really if I had to do out cable management, I would. Oh, I actually forgot something. That's amazing that I did. Typically I don't forget. Ooh, wow. So, you always want to connect these front cables up too. These are your front, like USB, your audio. So these will take a quick second. HD audio will actually just go here. Your HD audio can only go in one way, by the way. If you hook it up wrong, you'll find out. It really won't go. You'll bend the pin or break the little cover on the hole, and then you're hooking it backwards every single time. So always check your little pins before you hook them up. You always want to hook up these bad boys here to their locations, which is pretty easy. Like I said, they only go in one way. Put it wrong, you'll either damage a pin on the motherboard, can't fix it, break it, make it useless, or you break the connector like I said earlier. And then USB. Okay, so front pins are connected. We don't need this power adapter. Most time I would zip tie all my stuff together to make it nice and neat for cable management, which is already pretty much neat because there's not a lot of shit going inside of here. And yeah, pretty much it's ready to go. So if you like this video, put a big thumbs up. If you dislike it, put a big thumbs down. If you don't want to dislike or like or comment or subscribe, you don't have to. Just watch it. That's all that counts to me. So thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.